Following up on this, just because I discussed it so heavily in the context of the Fever's loss to the Sparks, Carolyn Peck, ESPN analyst, has clarified, backtracked, whatever her comments about the Fever being more dangerous without Caitlin Clark. She's changed it to different without Caitlin Clark, and it's funny. I'll get it. Well, actually, let me share the comments themselves. Then I'll get into the rest of it. Plus, congratulate Kelsey Mitchell on being named a WNBA All-Star. But these were the posts from Peck. Obviously, this was the original quote. I think Indiana is even more dangerous when Caitlin Clark doesn't play. Now, if she had said it's a different look for the opponent, it changes things for the opponent, that's fine because you do see it the same diet, and sometimes in a short burst, it can be different and more unpredictable, and you're not prepared for it, and you're not psyched up for it, and you're not scouted for it. Insane. That is a fair point. But the more dangerous is the part that makes people go, "Oh, come on." Right? Like those words, those two words, really. And then part of where this is what you posted. I did not say Caitlin Clark is not valuable. She's a great player. For those who only see Caitlin, I was complimenting the rest of the team. The Fever have several weapons. Yes, they lost last night. They have lost games with her. Respect to the whole Indiana Fever team. As a coach, if you have ever prepared a scouting report, scout the Fever with and without Caitlin. What do you take away in both scenarios? They are different. One is not easier than the other, just different. There's a lot of talent on that team. I don't disagree with the second post. There is a lot of talent on the team. That first post is more shade. I did not say she's a for those who only see Caitlin. I was complimenting the rest of the team. Look, people in the WNBA have to get used to the fact that Caitlin Clark is more popular than everybody else. Like it, just accept it. It's fine. It happens in every league in every sport. LeBron James receives outsized coverage to the rest of the NBA. And for those who only see Caitlin Clark, yeah, there are some loud people on social media who, say, I'm not watching the Fever without Caitlin or somebody sucks or whatever. For the most part, fans are supportive of the Fever as a whole. Caitlin Clark fans are supportive of the Fever as a whole. And yes, most of them became Fever fans in the last year and a half, whatever it is. Yes, that's so what? And then by the same token, don't you hear Asia Wilson get outside credit for or maybe proper credit for the aces? I don't really hear people go, "Oh, for those who only see Asia Wilson, salute the rest of the aces." In fact, I've been hearing like Asia Wilson needs help with the aces, even though they've got the point guard and Jackie Young, one of my favorite players in the league. But the it's okay if it's Asia Wilson, but when it's Caitlin Clark, you have to feel a certain type of way about it. And I would say for ESPN, I mean that they put out the graphic on it's just random person putting a placeholder, but the links dominate the Fever and all that stuff for a network that broadcasts the WNBA and obviously has the Fever on television more than any other team, which should be the case. There's a lot of shade that comes Caitlin Clark's way that she didn't do anything to earn. Or you know, and this notion that I didn't see Fever fans rooting against Fever to prove this point. I've also seen Fever fans salute Erin McDonald for what she's brought, rightfully so. Support Aaliyah Boston, who's had a monster season, and support Kelsey Mitchell, who just got named to the WNBA All-Star team. Here are the All-Star reserves. Congratulations to Kelsey Mitchell, three-time All-Star, cooking in the backcourt. Caitlin Clark has said it in the past. Her goal is to select her Fever teammates. We will see if she's able to do so. Here are the All-Stars. Beckers, Clark, Ionescu, Gray, Collier, Wilson, Stewart, Boston, Gumake, Sabali. The reserves, Citron, Diggins, Howard, Iriafen, Kelsey Mitchell, Kelsey Plum, Angel Reese, Alyssa Thomas, Kayla Thornton, Courtney Williams, Gabby Williams, Jackie Young. So 3 members of the Indiana Fever, obviously, at Gamebridge for the All-Star festivities. This is a big event. It was the most watched event for the WNBA last year. It is well deserved for Kelsey Mitchell, who's one of the most electric scorers in the league. Super entertaining to watch, a born bucket. Her and Clark would cook as a backcourt duo in the All-Star game, and it would be nice to see if Caitlin can get Aaliyah Boston and Kelsey Mitchell on her squad. A little bit of fever versus everyone mentality in the WNBA All-Star game there. So there's that. The last bit, since I mentioned Nafisa Collier, she's going to be a captain, obviously, with Caitlin Clark. There was a little bit of a dust up with that deal and what she said to the post that was up about the CBA negotiations. Nafisa, co-founder of Unrivaled, with Brianna Stewart, obviously, and she quote tweeted this post on X, which said that, so let me get this straight. Brianna Stewart is WNBA president. Nafisa Collier is VP. They co-founded Unrivaled, a league that benefits if there's a WNBA lockout, and they're the ones leading CBA negotiations. How do you negotiate in good faith? Make it make sense. Collier said, so let me get this straight. While everyone else was enjoying fireworks, you were thinking about how me and Stewie, of all people, are conspiring to force a lockout that would result in less money year-round for WNBA players. I hadn't really thought about it much, to be honest, whether there was a conflict of interest. I mean, I can understand the argument of it being a conflict of interest because of their vested interest in Unrivaled and their ownership in Unrivaled. At the same time, I don't think there is anything nefarious to how Nafisa Collier and Brianna Stewart are going to operate in negotiations. And I also would say this: I think a WNBA lockout hurts Unrivaled. You could say, oh, it would be the only game in town and the chance for people to see it. But I think Unrivaled benefits from the attention that the WNBA brings. The players are known because of the WNBA. That interest carries over into the Unrivaled season. If there's this big break and then just Unrivaled happens, I don't think it's quite the same. Unless Caitlin Clark were to play. Which brings us full circle back to the genesis of what I was discussing, the impetus, the origin of this video, which is that, that's why it was such a big story whether Caitlin Clark would play or wouldn't play in Unrivaled, because that is the biggest single thing that could change the trajectory of that league. With that said, I've rooted for Unrivaled success from the beginning, and I continue to wish them success. And I certainly don't question Nafisa's character or anything like that, but it was a storyline and something that got discussed that led to a little fireworks on the timeline. Nonetheless, stay safe, everybody, and make sure you avoid any situations that might be more dangerous for you.